escorted by 2 fighter jets. A passenger plane carrying a young boy named Elias finally wobbles to a landing. The runway is surrounded by heavily armed soldiers prepared for a worst-case scenario. Their commander issues tense, rapid orders, having received intel that the flight was hijacked and rigged with explosives. But as they wait anxiously, no hijackers appear. Instead, only a small boy steps off the aircraft, leaving everyone completely stunned. Where are the other passengers? Where are the ruthless hijackers? Soldiers quickly rush the young Elias to the airport medical room, bringing in a top negotiator to communicate with him and uncover what happened on board. Initially, the boy sits in a catatonic state, entirely silent. But after a long moment, he snaps back to reality, becoming wildly hysterical and screaming at the top of his lungs as horrifying, twisted memories of the flight flashed through his mind. Just the night before, Elias and his mother, Kayla, had boarded this flight to New York. The trip was meant to save Kayla's life, as she had been suffering from a mysterious, debilitating illness for years, relying on a highly specific medication just to survive. Having finally secured an appointment with a specialist in New York who promised a cure, Elias was overjoyed, expecting a beautiful journey. Instead, the moment the plane reached altitude, a nightmare unfolded. A ruthless gang of hijackers, working alongside corrupt crew members, took complete control of the aircraft in just 5 minutes, brutally executing the captain, with the co-pilot forced to fly the plane under immense duress. The passengers become entirely compliant, placing their hands on the headrests, frozen in fear after witnessing several cold-blooded murders. Elias, highly intelligent and observant for his age, notices a structural layout map of the aircraft in a safety brochure, realizing that a nearby access hatch leads down into the lower cargo hold, offering a safe place to hide. Seizing a moment when the hijackers are distracted, Elias bolts down the aisle toward the hatch, and his terrified mother, Kayla, immediately gives chase to protect him. However, a ruthless, blonde hijacker reacts with lightning speed, drawing his pistol before Kayla can even reach her son. With their escape plan completely ruined, Kayla raises her hands in surrender, but the cold-blooded, blonde hijacker pulls the trigger without a single shred of hesitation. Kayla drops instantly, shot directly in the chest, while a sobbing, devastated Elias is dragged violently back to his seat by the hijackers. But in a shocking, supernatural twist of fate, the bullet to the chest fails to end Kayla's life. Years ago, during an accidental encounter inside an ancient, abandoned building, Kayla had been viciously attacked and transformed by a humanoid monster that completely dreaded sunlight. Upon returning home, she contracted a bizarre affliction, developing an insatiable, overwhelming craving for raw blood. Along with it, razor-sharp fangs grew inside her mouth, the unmistakable markings of a bloodthirsty vampire. It is this terrifying, supernatural physiology that keeps Kayla hanging onto life. Slithering away while unnoticed, she slowly crawls down through the floorboards into the pitch-black cargo hold. After frantically draining the blood of a pet dog stored inside, Kayla instantly regains her physical strength. Unleashing her dormant, monstrous savagery, she effortlessly slaughters a hijacker who was busy assembling chemical explosives in the dark. As it turns out, these hijackers are not after ransom money. Their true objective is to fly the plane directly to London. They intend to use the lives of every single passenger on board to orchestrate a massive, catastrophic terrorist attack. By now, the terrorists have utilized chemicals smuggled inside the checked luggage to manufacture highly volatile, high-yield explosives. Their plan is simple. Once they reach the designated airspace, they will parachute to safety and detonate the bombs, obliterating the entire aircraft. Having fully deduced their sinister plot, Kayla reunites with her son, Elias, and storms straight into the cockpit. There, she forces a young passenger, student who graduated from an aviation academy, to take the controls and successfully alter the flight path. Down in the cargo hold, the hijackers preparing to parachute instantly notice the sudden shift in altitude and rush back to breach the cockpit. But Kayla holds the reinforced door completely barricaded, leaving the terrorists entirely unable to break inside. In a fit of desperate rage, the hijacker leader suddenly draws his gun and executes an innocent passenger on the spot. He cold-bloodedly announces that he will execute all 200 passengers